Everybody, what's going on? So today in this video we're going to be talking about 7 wintertime soft plastic baits. Now this is going to be the Finesse video. I will be doing a big bait video later on in the year, later on this week, but I wanted to do the Finesse video first. So everything up here on the table is less than 5 inches long, just so you guys know. Don't really know if you would care, but it is. Now, if you are one of those people that like to click off my video as soon as you see one of my lures, go ahead and do so now, because that's pretty much all we're going to be talking about right now is Doc's Lure Company baits. Finesse soft plastic baits. One of the only things I throw during the wintertime and early spring is soft plastic baits. Now, I will be doing a big bait video later on in the week, but right now we're going to be talking about the little stuff, the finesse stuff. And we can't really get a whole lot much more finesse than this guy right here, and that is the Doc's Lure Company 2-inch DS Minnow. Now, you guys know DS Minnow stands for Drop Shot Minnow. It's based off of the design of the one I'll show you here in a little bit, but this is the small little brother of it. Little tiny guy. Perfect for bass, bluegill, crappie, pretty much whatever you want to catch, you can catch it with this bait. If it eats minnows, you'll catch it with this bait. Now, that color there is crystal shad with black, silver, and gold flake. Probably one of my new favorite crystal shad colors. But we do a little bit of something different here with this bait. Now, you can run it on a jig head, which I do usually do with a jig head and a cork. I actually have one set up on my Code 13, or Code White by 13 Fishing. I already have a DS Minnow with a cork set up on it, hoping to do some crappie fishing, bass fishing, bluegill fishing, pretty much whatever bite here pretty soon once the water clears up a little bit, which it hasn't at all. But a jig head is probably one of my favorite ways to rig that bait. But a drop shot. Now, a 2-inch bait. This is a very small 2-inch bait. It's thin profile, smaller profile. It's a very small bait. It catches a lot of fish, and you can catch some big ones on this. If you're finding fish or eating bigger or smaller bait, you can catch big ones on that. I almost guarantee you. If you can find the right area and you can find the right fish that they're eating, those bait fish, those teeny tiny little shad and bluegill and stuff, you can catch. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you can catch a 5, 6, 7 pounder on that thing. I've seen people catch 8 pounders on little baits like that, and it shocked me. But now, since I've started using stuff like that, it doesn't surprise me anymore. But another thing you can do now, if you guys think I'm crazy, I want you guys to really quickly, after you get done watching this video, go and check out Aaron Martin's drop shot videos, because he uses this as a hook. A size 10. Now, I use Owner. I don't have the package up here with me. Yeah, I do, right here. I bought these at Academy Sports and Outdoors over in Indiana. These are Owner mosquito hooks. These are size 10. Very small hooks. You get 12 in a pack. I think I paid like $4 for those, but I wanted some because I've heard a lot about them. Never broke one. Now that's a little bit of a surprising thing, because I have hooked a couple fish on it. But something else that surprises me is I have some Mustad drop shot hooks. They're actual drop shot hooks made for drop shotting. And I broke one with my pliers trying to unhook about a 2.5 pound bass. You guys can go way back in the video archives and actually watch that video, because I don't remember the title of it, but I did catch a bass. I think I was using a 4-inch Ultra Finesse worm, and hooked it, and when I went to unhook it, I couldn't unhook it barehanded, so I went and got pliers. First turn of the pliers broke the hook right in half, and then ended up having to dig out the little point of the hook from the fish's mouth, which was not easy, but whatever. So, in my opinion, I don't use drop shot hooks a whole lot. I usually use an EWG, or I'll use something teeny tiny like that. Like, I don't even know if you guys. I just dropped it. Okay, well, we'll have to find that after the video's over, because there's no chance I'm going to find that right now. All right, we'll go ahead and go on with the video. So, next bait we're going to talk about is the Doc's Lure Company 3-inch grub. Now, a lot of people like throwing grubs all year round, but in the wintertime especially, you can get away with throwing a grub over a swim bait. Now, when I'm throwing a grub, I will usually throw it in the place of a 3.5 gunner swim bait. Now you guys can see they're around the same length. If you pull out the tail, they're about the same length. But this here is actually 3 inches. Technically, when you buy baits, they don't count the actual tail. They don't pull it out and count that. They actually count where the bend is. I don't really worry about that. I just call it the 3-inch grub because it's 3 inches. 3-inch grub, awesome bait when you're trying to finesse when you're trying to still catch them on a moving bait, but you're still trying to finesse the fish. I personally like going to a 1/4 ounce jig head, just like this one right here. I think this is a 2/0 hook and a 1/4 ounce jig head. Unpainted jig heads, I don't really think it matters. Certain bites on certain clear water days, I'd say it probably matters a little bit more. But when it's muddier water, or if it's just a little bit stained, or if the fish just don't care, I'll throw an unpainted jig head. I don't really think it matters. I've caught fish with unpainted. I've caught fish with painted. It doesn't matter to me. If I can get bit with an unpainted, I'll throw an unpainted. You know, whatever. This here's Green Pumpkin Magic. Now, another thing you can do with a small grub like that is you can reel it really slowly on the bottom. It has a lot of fluttering action down on the bottom. Or you can just reel it really slowly through the middle water of the column. You can also put it on the Alabama rig. I've seen a lot of people been doing that here lately. It's a great swim bait replacement. If you like throwing the swim bait style bait like this, or ones like this, and you just aren't getting the bites, go to a little 3-inch grub like this. Doc Sewer Company 3-inch grub. You get 8 in a pack for $4. Oh, also, the DS Minnow, the 2-inch DS Minnow, you get 20 in a pack for $4, just so you know. These jig heads are South Bend Hook Company, or whatever they're called, I think, is what these hooks are. I bought them on sale at Rural King for like 50 cents a piece for a bag of them. So I don't really know the brand. I just bought them, and pretty much, I don't think I have the packaging anymore. Nope, I don't. Next bait is another version of the drop shot minnow. So we showed you guys the 2-inch. Well, this is the 3.5-inch drop shot minnow. You guys can see there, it has a lot of flexibility. Definitely a very good cold water bait because it has a lot of action, even though it's super cold. So this bait is a great replacement for the bigger size baits if you want to throw a drop shot and you don't want to go down to super small stuff like that 2-inch, and you don't want to go up to the bigger stuff like the original. I understand. I've been in those situations, and this guy right here is a killer. Something else that I really like about this, because I know a lot of people have been starting to get into it. Now, I've been doing it for 2 years now, 3 years. I think 2 years. No, 3 years, actually. I know it's been 3 years. I've been doing that for 3 years now, and that's using a 1 or 2/0 EWG hook. And I know you guys like to do that. I'm sure you guys like to do that. If you haven't tried it, I definitely suggest you do so. But you guys can see here it actually has a hook slot for an EWG hook or a small swim bait hook, which you can do that with a weightless swim bait hook, but a small EWG hook like a 1 or a 2/0 is perfect for this guy right here. You can also nose hook it. You can do that as well. Me personally, I like going with the EWGs, just a little bit more weedlessness, and you can get it in a few different places that you can't really get a nose hook. That's a 3.5, 3.5 inches, excuse me. Awesome bait right there. You guys can see the differences here between the 2-inch and the 3.5. Pretty good difference there. You could probably catch some pretty aggressive bluegill and crappie on that, honestly. Like, I wouldn't put it past them at all. So the next bait is yet another version of the drop shot minnow. This is my 3rd version. This is the last version. This is the biggest version as well. This is the biggest bait out of all of Finesse baits that I will talk about. So the thing that makes this bait here a little bit different than the others is its size, obviously. Now, you guys can see the size of the tail as well. Very different between the 3.5, and the original. You can also see there's a very big difference between a little 2-inch and the original. So, one thing that I love doing with this bait right here is drop shotting, obviously, but taking a 1/4 ounce jig head. Now, I usually would prefer a bigger jig head with a bigger hook, but this guy right here will do the job. I actually have one rigged up right here in this tackle box, already ready to go. and that is fish a Damiki rig. Now, Damiki rig usually use a smaller bait, somewhere around the 3-inch range. But I found if you want to catch a little bit bigger fish, you can go with this guy right here around the docks. That's where I fish most of the time in the wintertime, where I fish my vertical jig and stuff, drop shots, or a Damiki rig. The original size, drop shot minnow. Green Pumpkin Magic is this color. Killer bait, you can get it in whatever colors, obviously. The original drop shot minnow right there. Let me find it up there on my thing. The original drop shot minnow is, you can get 10 a pack. I actually messed up. You can get 15 of the 2-inch in each pack. You get 10 of the 3.5 in each pack, and you get 10 of the original in each pack. So next bait, this is a bait that I haven't talked a whole lot about since I came out with the mud crawler. You guys have seen the mud crawler. If you haven't seen the mud crawler, you can go back to some of my other videos. I actually have one right here. This one here is chicken liver with the little green pumpkin whiskers on it. That is the mud crawler. This is the mud bug. This was the original crawl bait I came out with. Little bitty bait, about 2.5 inches long. Awesome bait right there. The mud bug. Sorry, the lighting, when I'm staring at that light, it's hard for me to look up and try to focus in on something. Trying to find the mud bug on my list up there. Mud bug, you can get 15 baits in each pack for $4. Awesome bait. You can use it on a Ned rig. Again, the same jig head that I use for my Damiki rigs and my 3-inch grub. I'll throw this guy on there. You guys can see it's a pretty darn perfect matchup right there. It's still got enough bait there to where you can get a good hook set still, but it also they won't instantly feel the hook and let go. I've had that problem a lot. Next bait we're going to talk about is the 4-inch Ultra Finesse worm. You guys knew that I had to be talking about a 4-inch Ultra Finesse worm when I go into the Finesse stuff. Now, you get 15 baits in each pack of these. This is Green Pumpkin Magic. Awesome bait. You guys can see, very flexible bait as well. Awesome bait, in my opinion, for drop shots. Another way that I throw that bait there. Now, this past summer, I used this little hook a lot, and I'm going to show you guys this hook. Now, I don't have the other jig. Now, this is originally a swinging football jig, and I need to go and find the place where my cousin actually bought these and gave them to me because he didn't use them. They were actually swinging football jigs. They had they had a finesse skirt, and a tiny little 1/0 hook. And I only have 2. I don't remember where I put the actual jig. I think it's in my jig box somewhere. But I actually had the skirt taken off of this one and was just using it as a finesse wobblehead. And one day I just decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to throw the 4-inch Ultra Finesse worm on it. Took it out there at the pond with my Speed Demon, with my Shakespeare Excursion rod, 12-pound test Omniflex line. Flipped it way out there, was letting it sink down through the water. All of a sudden, it just started swimming off real slow. And I set the hook and caught it. Now, I think this is, do I have the package? Nope. Yeah, I do, right here. They're Ardent, no, Accent. Accent Fishing Products Scooter Jig Finesse. It's a 3/16 ounce head. Very small little head. I somehow was able to find the packaging pretty easily. But that's a 3/16 ounce jig on a bait caster. A lot of people would be surprised by that, but I actually did throw it on a bait caster and was able to catch quite a few fish. I actually was able to hook a turtle with this jig as well. Somehow I was able to get that back, though. So yeah, 4-inch Ultra Finesse worm on a little wobble head like that is a killer bait. I like the wobble head for anything else as well, throwing it with a crawl bait. It's a perfect match for this mud bug. It'd be a great thing for this 3-inch grub. If you want to get a little bit more of a weedless profile, you can do that as well. The next bait, very last bait of the video. Now this is a bait that I think is going to be a absolute monster beast of a bait this upcoming summer and spring. And that is the 4-inch boomstick. So you guys can see that guy right there. Killer bait right there. I am super duper excited about this bait. This is Junebug color. It's got a green, blue, green and blue flake. Awesome bait. June bug is kind of a darker purple. I'm sure you guys have seen June bug color before, but it's an awesome looking bait. I can't wait to throw that on a Texas rig, on a weightless rig. I'll probably end up throwing it on this guy right here. I'll probably throw it on just about everything. Shaky heads, just about whatever hook will fit it, I'll throw it on it. But I think that'll be an awesome bait for bed fishing as well. Flipping and pitching into bushes. I think that there's just going to be a killer all around. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, the 4-inch boomstick right here, you get 10 in the pack for $4. So you guys can buy those if you want to. Contact me through the email in the description. If there's not an email, just comment down below and let me know that I didn't put one, because usually when I post these videos, it's super duper early in the morning, and I'm not awake enough to really know what I'm doing. All I know is make a title, hit the post button. So, you know, it's pretty early in the morning when I post these vids. So if I don't put the description, don't put the email in the description, I do apologize. Just let me know down in the comments. So once again, I do thank you for watching, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you know anybody who's having trouble with the finesse baits and wanting to get into finesse fishing a little bit more, send them my way. Tell them about this video, and thanks for watching.